Outlander fans get the sex scene they've been hoping for, but Diana Gabaldon thinks they might not be satisfied. Outlander book fans can breathe a sigh of relief. The passionate sex scene in the stable from the fiery cross between Jamie, Sam Hugan, and Claire, Katrina Balfe, made it into the TV series even though it was way too short and not exactly what Diana Gabaldon had in mind. It all begins with an argument when Jamie shows up drunk, insults Claire by calling her a woman and is about to mansplain what was going on between him and Philip Wiley, Chris Donald, when things get steamy. As for Jamie and Claire's fight, and I suppose you would have to call it make-up sex, though as played, it was more or less a continuation of the fight. This is one of those iconic scenes from the fiery cross, Gabaldon tells Parade.com exclusively. Those are the scenes that book readers particularly value, and spend months hoping will be included in the show. The book fans will be happy that it is included. However, the more nitpicky fans might be distracted. I'm afraid it's one of those situations where they're so provoked by the omissions and changes that they may forget to be thankful. The whole thing began with Claire realizing that Philip Wiley was doing business with Stephen Bonnet, Ed Spielers, so she tried to convince him to put Jamie and Bonnet together, to sell Jamie's whiskey. Philip then invites her to the stables to meet his love, his new thoroughbred, and he makes a slimy pass at her, kissing her neck. She pushes him away, and Jamie walks in and threatens his life. But Claire reminds Jamie it wouldn't be appropriate to kill a man on the eve of his Aunt Jocasta's, Maria Doyle Kennedy, wedding. Jamie later tells Philip that he can restore his honor with a wager, but, of course, Philip has none and is okay being known as a rogue and a cad. He will take money over reputation any day, and he isn't interested when Jamie suggests a wager, Philip's horse for Jamie's gold. Philip is having none of that. The only thing he will accept as a wager in his spite at being rejected by Claire is her gold wedding ring. When Jamie asks for it, Claire gets upset with Jamie because she feels that Bonnet has already taken enough from them. And Jamie is hurt that she doesn't trust him to successfully return the ring. In the end, though, Claire gives him both wedding rings, saying, "If you are going to take them, take both." It's a nice situation, with the outre Philip Wiley sliming around Claire and yet providing the means by which Jamie can locate Stephen Bonnet, with an eye to killing him, Gabaldon continues. And the argument over Claire's wedding rings is well done, with the awareness that what's at stake is not only Jamie's quest to kill Bonnet, nor the emotional value of the rings to Claire, but the trust between Jamie and Claire. Well played and good acting all around, and Philip Wiley is great, showing himself to be a lot shrewder than his macaroni style suggests. The actual game between the two men isn't seen. Rather, just the end results where Jamie shows up drunk in the stable, where Claire is admiring Philip's horse. Where it falls apart is in the first half of the stable scene, Gabaldon points out. The dialogue is bumpy, awkward and disconnected, but much worse, it's totally out of character, she points out. Honestly, even show Jamie would never say jerk-ass stuff like that, no matter how drunk, and instead of a coherent and/or passionate fight, the interchange just stops dead with a slap and a long mutual stare, which we are meant to believe is the ignition of sudden sexual desire. While she's the first to admit fans wanted this scene, it might not be exactly what they hoped for. She describes it as an extremely awkward sex scene, made more awkward by the fact that they did, in fact, use the book dialogue at this spot, and the sex did take place against a wall in the stable, but the abrupt transition, the set, lighting and direction were not suited to what was meant to be going on. In the aftermath of their lovemaking, Claire turns to Jamie and says, "Promise me Stephen Bonnet will never take another thing from us again." He does, and he also promises, "These rings will never leave your hands again." The aftermath makeup conversation is really good, and, coincidentally, pretty much straight out of the book, and Jamie and Claire, mutual trust restored, are able to revert to being themselves, which I'm sure was a relief to the actors, as well as to the thankful viewers. Outlander airs Sunday nights on Stars.